Welcome
back to the Business Building Book Club. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to those of you watching live. Welcome to those of you watching on the replay.
What's up?
We are diving back in.
Yes.
To jab, right hook from the genius marketer himself, Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V, whatever you want to call him.
Whatever.
Man, oh man. What I've realized through this book is that when he wrote it, that part of his career, he was super saturated in all of the main platforms, the main social platforms. And so this book is him comparing what's working, what's not, what types of content can we create on these different platforms? How can we really maximize it? And I love that he speaks from the perspective of marketers. Mm-hmm. How can marketers utilize this in a way that doesn't feel icky, sticky, used car salesy? And yeah, so this week we're on round 6. I know we jumped around in chapters, but we are round 6, chapter 6. Create art on Instagram. That's what we're talking about today. So who wants to dive in first? I know Lefty's got opinions.
Well, this chapter is actually, it is nothing to what Instagram is today. Okay.
Yeah.
This is right. If you were to get like software versions, like this is literally Instagram version 1. Right. And we're probably on like version 30 right now. So it really just kind of dived into the photo sharing aspect and how like getting writing your stories within these pictures and images that you're gonna share to your audience or your family members or friends and whatnot. I mean, there's not even a single talk about video because it didn't even exist on the platform.
Exactly. Right. Like he always starts out with those bullet points of the history of the platform. So we're talking like in June of 2013, so 10 years ago, Instagram launched video sharing. That was 2013, but it was founded in 2010. So there was years and years and years where they were maximizing on how they were getting their content out there by focusing on photos, which is really cool. But man, video has totally changed the game in Instagram for sure.
Right. He talked about the similarities between Instagram and Pinterest in here, and you don't really I don't think you think of the two in the same way. He pointed out the differences in Pinterest. You can collaborate and share, but there wasn't much sharing on Instagram. It was just, remember, it started off as a geolocation app called Bourbon. Did you read that?
Yeah, so kind of like Foursquare, I guess.
Yeah, and they removed everything except the photo, the comment, and the like function. But this was very basic.
Now, is this what they were referring to last year when they say make Instagram again? Like, are we talking about going right to these basics, or are we just talking about removing a couple features?
Well, that's a great question, because when we're talking about this evolution of Instagram, and I know Lefty has feelings about Instagram. Here's the backstory. When I met Lefty, I love you, Lefty. Lefty tried to convince me that Instagram was the place to be. And I was like, really, bud? Can I share this new platform I found called YouTube? Let me share this with you. And he's like, nah, no YouTube. To the point that we actually shot a whole bunch of reels. We'll call them reels. Lefty did great editing on them. And he's like, why aren't you posting them? Because he was just checking my Instagram. Well, I wasn't posting them on Instagram because to me, Instagram is those fundamentals, is those aesthetically pleasing photographs, quote cards, those kinds of things. Reels didn't feel right to me. Even though YouTube Shorts is the exact same thing, it's the exact same thing as TikTok. It's just a different algorithm behind it. It's just a different group of audience members behind it. But for some reason, I was like, I'm not posting it on Instagram. I'm going to post them on YouTube instead. And I was getting way more traction than I was when I did eventually post them on Instagram. So I think I'd like to say I've slowly started to convert Lefty over to the world of YouTube.
Slowly. I've been on it.
I know, it was like a floodgate. It was like it took a little bit of work. And then once those floodgates broke,
you were kind of just like, the door was open. You were just trying to pry through. And then it was that one.
She was jabbing. He was jabbing.
Yes. Yeah. Look,
but it's interesting. I'm curious to know if we have that conversation about Instagram going back to its fundamentals of photos, stories, likes, comments, etc., and we take video out of it, or we just keep short videos that are on our feed that are more like Vines, like the really short clips. And then we leave video for other platforms, like leave the short videos for TikTok, for example. They have an algorithm that works so well with short video. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I think
I don't even use it.
Well, since this was published, when did Facebook buy Instagram? Because it was
noted.
I think that happened around 2016, maybe 2017-ish. Yeah, Molly, you're gonna have to do the Google search on that.
Let's Google search.
Look, you know what?
The change could probably coincide with Facebook taking over Instagram, and then Instagram actually just taking on this new character. It's a new character. How would you describe Instagram today as it is? Not necessarily photo sharing, because Instagram Reels and the lives have really taken over that platform. What are your thoughts on that, Left?
Lives, stories, all of those started, and video sharing all came about after Facebook bought them in 2012. So we had Facebook purchased Instagram in its bare bones phase, and that's how they started to develop more of those other sharing capacities and content capacities.
Remember they had IGTV at one time?
I loved
IGTV. Fail. That was a complete fail. Oh my God. Look, here's a situation with the backstory that Molly gave, okay? I did essentially what I am not against, but I kind of teach people not to do or not focus on, which is follow trends. And that's exactly what I did. I jumped on the trend wagon and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 3,000. Like my view count was outrageous. And what happened after a year? Everything just started to sink and everything just started to tank. It's natural that that's going to happen because obviously at the beginning with the massive growth, not very many people knew about it. So if let's say only like a handful of people know about a certain feature and only a handful of people are looking at other people's content, you're going to be in that small group where everyone is kind of just supporting each other's stuff. But then as it expands and there's more people out there, you know, that reach diminishes. So I kind of like, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not happy that I jumped on that trend because it got me to bring in a lot more clients than I would have probably never had last year. But at the same time, when I realized that it wasn't something that was not going to be around forever, and when I mean not around, I don't mean active. I mean not around as in that bubble was going to burst. And when it did, it was really traumatic for probably a lot of creators. That's when I realized, what the hell am I doing with my life and my business? I could be on YouTube and actually work towards getting paid for what I put out. And that's where that shift happened. And during that shift, I mean, let's be realistic. We had like menopausal Moseri coming out every week, just trying to burn out fires. Like, today we're a video sharing app. Tomorrow we're not a video sharing app. Today we're a story app. Today we're just this app. We're just that app. Today we're just going to focus on comments from now on. Like, bud, figure out your platform. Like, there was a moment in history there for like a month or two where it was literally just him not understanding his own platform and what people wanted. He was just kind of throwing things at us and hoping that it would stick. And
when you say
it would stick like for a week and then it's be done. And then you'd have to come out with another live explaining why he changed another feature. And then let's not talk about the 3-day fiasco when Instagram changed their feed to look like TikTok. Oh my God, what a disaster.
Oh, this was recently, right?
This was like October to December of 2022.
It's now it's becoming more of chasing the trend instead of setting the trend. It's like, okay, taking what was Vine and moving it to Instagram with the, keep it available for like 10 seconds or 24 seconds. And then what is Instagram's identity now? That's the question. And and remember, just one more thing before you go. Instagram wasn't a platform that creators could monetize through the platform until they came out with the Reels now, where they're paying for Reels now, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Or they were.
Moseri killed that too. He literally brought it out. He's like, we're going to incentivize creators to make content so that we can give them some sort of cash flow. And then literally like 2 weeks later, it's like, well, we have this other feature and we don't really want to pay you guys anymore. And like this is why I call him menopausal Moseri, because like, think of a woman going through menopause. She's hot, she's cold, she's happy, she's angry, she's sad. She's like, he has no idea what he's doing.
Hey, don't get canceled, Lefty.
Well, maybe that's my whole thing, right? No, look, at the end of the day, I'm still using the platform. I'm still using it. I'm putting things out there, but I guess you can say I'm not really focused on the growth aspect there anymore. I'm just using it as a portfolio. Like it's kind of one of those things where it's like, Mark, if you didn't know me and we were on a discovery call or whatever the case might be, and you're just like, hey man, I'd love to work with you, but I'd love to see what you can do. Here's my Instagram. Like, it's literally just an area where I can show you my portfolio. I'm not there actively looking to get clients. I don't know. I mean, even with the big burst of trends, and I'm not saying that this happened to everybody, but my personal experience was, I think I had like 2 closed deals in a year on Instagram, posting constant reels. Like there's volatility behind that, right? And there's volatility behind it unless you were like a social media marketer, you were an Instagram coach, you were a Reels coach, so you were some sort of you had some sort of social proof behind Instagram. Those individuals probably made a killing or probably made a decent living, depending on how well they were able to market themselves. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you're really going on Instagram to find someone that can do a VSL for you or a Hollywood movie production or anything like that. So I think you really got to pick your platform, and that's what people need to realize too, is that like, it's really not about being everywhere. It's about being in the right places, right? Like if YouTube is the only platform that you will ever use in your life, like make sure that you make YouTube your bitch. right? Like make sure you give YouTube your all, you're posting every day or whatever opportunity you have to create videos, but you don't want to spread yourself thin, right? And I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh my God, I have to be here because my audience has to be here. But then I realized slowly that it's like, well, wait, think of the product that I'm actually creating for others. And where would people go to actually watch something like that? They're probably going to go to YouTube. They're potentially going to go to LinkedIn. Most likely they're on Facebook. And then if I'm lucky enough, just my landing page, right?
I'll be discovered on YouTube. It's interesting. It's interesting you say that because, I was thinking as I was reading this chapter, and I noticed one striking thing to me just pulled out in this chapter. It was pretty short. I think
it was a short chapter. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably 4-5 pages of actual, content. And the rest is just, him making his comparison and what's good and what's bad. Gary is unlike the YouTube formula where we really dug deep into the platform. That was specifically, we got into the history and talked about his past. This was really a surface book on all of these platforms. If it's something that you're really looking at learning your platform, I wouldn't say that this is really the book for that. This is the book for learning how to market. And he's always like, you should be on this platform and learn how to speak the language. That's really one of the main points I'm getting out of this book is learn how to speak the language of the platform. And when you do go to that platform, have a plan and then look at what's going on there and see what is successful and see what's not successful, and then go into it deeper in another book.
Yeah. I find that this is a really good book. Or what is important in this book happened way at the beginning, which is where he explains the concept of jab, 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 right hook. Mm-hmm. That is the game plan. Regardless of if it's 10 years ago or it's 10 years from now, the jab, 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 right hook philosophy is the most essential part of this book. He's just showing you how you apply it into these different platforms, but you're totally right. It is not an in-depth look into anything other than the process of creating content that is meaningful and attractive to your audience, that, again, as you guys have already said, speaks the language of that platform, which I love. So, Lefty, I got a question, because
I have a question for you too, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going first.
All right.
So we've talked before. If you guys have seen our Friday Night Live show, Lefty and I are joined with our co-host Jim Beard. We like to chat a lot. So I don't know if it was here on Book Club or on Friday Night Live, but Lefty was talking about the different types of content that he puts out on a regular basis. And we started talking about lifestyle content that's the little sneak peeks behind the scenes of what it's like to be Lefty, whether he's shooting with new friends, whether he's waiting for a client in his Tesla, whether he's enjoying a wonderful morning with his beautiful wife, whatever it is, he's putting those snapshots. So, Lefty, my question to you is, if we were to rethink how we use Instagram, and instead of trying to use it as a client attraction tool, we use it as a client nurturing tool. So you fill it with that lifestyle content. You're not trying to sell anyone on anything. You're not right hooking at all, unless maybe once a quarter you put out a right hook. But it's all jab, jab, jab. Check out all of this behind the scenes. If you want to know more about me as a person, come follow me on Instagram. So you're segmenting your pre-existing audience, but if they want to know more about you as the person, segment them over to that. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah.
I mean, look, okay, like I think nowadays you have to have like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's like it's like the ancient Greeks used to say, everything in moderation.
Including moderation.
You don't do too much of one thing. Okay, spread things out evenly, and I think, and I love that. I love that line. I love that little phrase. Okay, everything in moderation, because you're not just supposed to go balls to the wall with reels. You're not just supposed to go balls to the wall with stories. You're supposed to do little things here and there that use every single feature, right? Now, I don't know why people want to know the type of breakfast I eat in the morning. I mean, they happen to just care about that stuff. But I think it really it stems down to the fact that people buy people. Right. So because it stems down to the fact of people buy people, not products, that's where the lifestyle component, I think, is very, very important, right? Like, I have pictures with me and my barber up. I have pictures, and I do like little videos when, I get my new haircut or whatever, which I'm still fangirling over this haircut because I've had long hair for so long. But I mean, there's almost like the lifestyle aspect allows that person to have a that's so me moment. Right. And that's essentially what you want to trigger, what you want to get a spark, what you want to get a reaction out of that person is like, that's so me, whether it's in a comical way, whether it's like you guys do the exact same thing. It gives, I guess, a foundation to allow that individual to come into the comments or come into the DMs and be like, yo, I went, I don't know, rock climbing last week too. What was your experience? Did you reach the top? Did you like what happened? I only got halfway up. I'm a big guy. I'm 260. It's tough for me to blah, 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 whatever. Like, and then you have a conversation, and then somehow, some way, if you're very good at what you do, you can find a way to like a fish in water, turn that conversation into more of a business conversation, right? And understanding when, right? Because I know a lot of people out there, they'll just turn around and be like, hey man, you went rock climbing last week? That's so awesome. By the way, I have this product that you should really check out. Like, that's what you don't want to do, right? But then you also don't want to friend zone yourself either, right? So you have to learn how to find that happy medium, because once you hit that friend zone, that's it, it's done. Because let's be realistic, friends don't buy from friends, right? Very, 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 very small percentage, very small population of people.
Okay. If I might say something, when I think about Instagram, I think, because I was really knee deep into corporate America, but what I was seeing about Instagram, I think of the celebrities. I think of the Kardashians and the whole industry. I think that the Kardashians started, and that is this lifestyle marketing. You look at them, and I think they are one of the most followed Instagram channels out there, and it's because they have actually, in my opinion, they took Instagram and they turned it into a marketing machine, and they turned it into where people just look at what I think Rihanna did at the Super Bowl recently. How she was able to pull out her makeup case, and that's an example of sort of doing something lifestyle, but bringing in a product placement at the same time. And I've tried to kind of think of it in that perspective. It's more of a product placement. It's like watching one of your favorite shows, and then watching one of your favorite shows, and then you see a bag of Doritos pop up as you're using it. And I see some successful people that I see doing that lifestyle on Instagram, and it's more of them. Let's say they're going out on a night to go eat, right? And then they're saying things like, "This is the type of thing that I can do because I've finished my work, or I'm doing 6 hours a day," and they're selling the dream through the lifestyle.
Oh yeah. And I think it's easier, I think it's easier for to get certain things that you want, like whether it's like especially brand deals, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, okay, you can get some like really, really great products like out of just talking about them, talking about features and benefits. But I feel like because us as people, we run the show now. It's not really the big brands that run the show. We kind of tell them what to do. So I mean, I feel like if I don't know, I was flying my drones, I would literally create content around, the journey of me getting to the destination, around why I'm going to be shooting that particular thing. DJI Mavic 3, DJI, hello. But like send me a drone. But I mean, in regards to that, it's like find ways to, use the products and show them how they work around your life, right? And then I feel like people gravitate towards that. Like Kim and Kylie combined have like 700 million followers, right? Kylie's sitting at 388. Kim is sitting at 353 or something. Still nowhere close to Cristiano Ronaldo with 536 million. But I mean, the point is we're going from like actor to, rock star soccer player. There's a big difference. But even think about it like that. Imagine if Ronaldo only had soccer content, right? Think about it like that for a second. If Cristiano Ronaldo only had soccer content, he would only be available and interesting by soccer fans. Not to say that there aren't a buttload of soccer fans out there in the world, but you still have to find soccer fans that like Ronaldo, because I'm sure there are soccer fans that absolutely hate the guy. So he learned very quickly. What's so funny?
I did like this. Very few, if any.
Right. Okay. So I mean, he is like the thing is that he found ways to get into more brand deals, to turn Ronaldo into a lifestyle.
Yeah.
To not turn Ronaldo into the soccer player. He's Ronaldo the lifestyle. He is the sexy playboy soccer player who wears Gucci colognes and drives expensive cars, and he sells you the lifestyle, and what he does is play soccer. Big difference when you think of how to position yourself with your content, right?
Yeah, and brands want to tap into that. They want to tap into that audience that he has grown, that they follow him. So because they follow him and they follow him, like you're saying, Lefty, because they connect with them and they see themselves in them. So they connect with them. So now he can basically almost put anything in front of them and they're going to fall for it. But you definitely have to be ethical doing that, though. And you can't do like all this controversy now with people being sued because they were promoting the
latest crypto.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's a bunch of them being sued big time.
Yeah.
Crypto's a tricky market.
Yeah. You have. Yeah.
There's a piece in here that I find interesting. Yes, this chapter is very short, but I think this touches on what Lefty was just saying. Okay. So page 136 at the top of the double column, given the app's limitation as a business tool, why should brands scramble to start posting photos? Remember, this is Instagram back before there was real video and stuff was taking off. So why should brands start scrambling to take photos? It's for the same reason that people might post ads in Fine Cooking, in Vogue, in People, or even in Travelers of Charleston magazine. After all, if you take out all of the editorial content in between the ads, a print magazine is, in essence, a small format gallery of beautiful, provocative, or tantalizing images. It's a consumption platform, and that's all Instagram is. I'm like, yes, that's exactly it. So if we go back to our soccer players or our sports figures or our celebrities, they're creating their own branded magazines, and we can apply that same view to really successful content creators on the platform. They're speaking the language. The language is beautiful imagery, provocative storytelling, and in a way that is quick and easy to grab, right? We're not watching long videos. That's why IGTV didn't work, right? You could do really long videos. I was posting like 10, 15-minute videos, and it was fantastic, but that's not what's working best for the platform. So what do you think about that, Mark?
Okay. This is interesting because especially coming off talking about Pinterest, and I actually read that too, and my thoughts were, Pinterest is sort of, when I was thinking about Pinterest and I made the comment, it's like a magazine, but Pinterest was like a magazine where I could rip out a page and then I could share it with you, or you rip out a page and you share it with me. And that's how that collaborating went with Pinterest, because it's very picture, and he called it about, it's very picture centric too. Yeah. But with Instagram, like I said, I think it's not really that collaborative. It's more of a consumption. I read this now and I'm thinking, wow, it has changed so much from the time, because I think it's more than just that. It's more than just that photo platform now. I think if I scroll through my Instagram feed right now, what's the percentage of photos to videos that you see now?
Here we go. I'm gonna say mine.
Now I want to check. Here we go. Check your Instagrams.
Reel, ad, reel, photo, ad, reel, sponsored ad, reel. Oh, our homegirl Marley Jacks. Reel, ad, reel, video, actually, not real, I don't think. Reel, sponsored ad, reel, sponsored ad, reel. So you get the point, right? Like,
it's interesting.
It's literally just ads and reels. That's it.
So I have video, ad, photo. Oh no, video, ad. What's it when you slide across? Carousel. Carousel. Reel. Ad carousel. Reel. Marley.
Same one, right?
Oh, Lisa.
Hey, what does that say?
Ad.
Do you think that says that Instagram is now prioritizing reels, or do you think that people are posting less photos?
I think it's just people are posting less photos, because Instagram did mention that they're not going to be prioritizing the reels anymore. They did mention that they wanted to kind of go back to a photo type sharing app or whatever. But it's the people. It's the people. Like everybody just wants to create video content, and I don't know. I mean, like,
it's because
it all looks the same. It's so sad.
Well, typically people want to produce it because people want to consume it. And you think that Instagram is becoming more like TikTok Junior.
Very true. Very
yeah,
true.
That's my friend Maria. Hello.
Oh, hey, Maria. You think it's Instagram, TikTok Junior?
I think so. Well, I'm not a TikToker, but I wonder if TikTok has more functions than Instagram, or if Instagram has more functions than TikTok. I know TikTok has way more filters, etc., but it's primarily focused on video. Can you post like text captions that are easily readable, or do you have to watch a video and then open up the caption from there, like that extra step? Can you post photos on TikTok?
No, I don't think you can post photo. I mean, you probably could post a photo on TikTok, but it would be in the form of like a reel, let's call it.
It would technically be video,
right?
Yeah,
it's all video. TikTok is an only video platform, just video. Now the comment, the caption section is like very small. Like when I mean very small, I think like you have maybe, if you're lucky, 100 characters.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very small. In terms of features and like filters and all that stuff, I do feel like the reason why they potentially might have more than what Instagram has to offer is because TikTok also owns CapCut.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's only inevitable that some of those CapCut features will also be natively in TikTok. But then when you want to go into like a bigger hurrah, you're going to go into CapCut to do the majority of your editing. Honestly, like, I just think everyone is looking the same and sounding the same. And it's like, the internet's really boring right now, guys. Like, I don't know about you, but it's like, it's like, I don't know. Like, have you guys ever heard the phrase, like, there's always going to be like 16-year-olds, or there's always going to be 20-year-olds. Okay. So that's kind of that's what's keeping the internet interesting, is the fact that there's always going to be that 20-year-old that just first figures out who Molly is, or Lefty is, or Mark is, or Alex Hormozy, or there's always going to be that 20-year-old that's going to first discover these people for the first time. But I feel like what's happening in the people that have already seen all this already, it's just becoming a stale cracker. like everyone's using CapCut. Everyone's using the same text. Everyone's saying the same thing. Like, I'm like, my ears are going to explode if I have to hear another 3 reasons why. Like, they will. My ears will literally explode. Like, there has to be, and I had this kind of like controversial moment where I always have to kind of like zen myself when I'm in the comments. But I had this controversial moment yesterday where someone was like, it's not about the editing, it's all about the message. And it's like, but bro, everybody's message sounds the same. So how is it the message when another 35 people are saying the exact same thing that I'm saying? It's about how you relay it and how you show up.
Oh,
I have a video essay coming out.
You do.
I have a couple video essays coming out, actually, two on this specific topic. So one of my favorite communications theorists is this Canadian philosopher known as Marshall McLuhan. And he's from like the 1960s. And one of his most popular books is called The Medium is the Message. So we think it's medium is the message. That's the phrase, meaning the package in which we distribute the thing we're going to say is just as important as the thing we're actually saying. So in that case, it would be the way that we edit the video, the way that we present that, the way that we give you it in mobile form versus in watching it on your computer versus consuming the same piece of information from a written newspaper. Versus like everything has its own level of passivity and activeness. And that's a whole nother, that could be actually essay number 3. But But the title of the book is not message, MESSAGE. It's MASSAGE, the massage. So he's talking about how do we add in that extra dynamic of widespread information sharing. So, and he was around long before social media was a thing, long before we had internet in our households, you know? And so I check it out when I release those. I'm still in the process of filming and editing them. But I'm going to be very bare bones on the editing because the message is so important. So that's my little preamble.
No,
subscribe to the Visibility Hackers YouTube channel.
No, but you're right. It's down to how it's presented, because we can all, like, I mean, and it would be, honest to God, it would be a really great case study or theory. Like, I would love for us to have the same script word for word. And I would love for the three of us to film it, edit it, and get it out, and see which one actually performs better. And then that will debunk all these people that's saying that it's the message that matters most. Because like I said it last week, information is pretty much becoming a commodity.
It is.
Like, if it isn't already. So
it's been a commodity for a while, and those prices have dropped.
There you go. So I mean, it's not about what you say anymore. It's about how it's being said, how it's being delivered. So anybody that feels like it's like, oh, I'm gonna get my messaging right and I'm gonna focus on what I'm gonna say. No, focus on how you're going to say that. Focus on how. Focus on hiring the right editors, the right copywriters, the right anybody that's going to help you get that message across in the best way possible. Like, there was once a sea of iPhone users. Now we're in a sea of CapCut users. So don't be in the sea of CapCut users, because your message means nothing. It'll get lost. It'll literally
Team Adobe for the win.
And it matters.
Team Adobe, Team Final Cut, Team DaVinci Resolve,
like Team Desktop Editing.
Not just how you say it, but who says it. In the famous words of great granddad Lefty, if you get someone to like you,
that's it.
If you get someone to like you, you can sell them anything. That's what you focus on. That's what the lifestyle does. Focus on getting people to like you. And when they like you, then they'll listen to your message. They'll hear your message. Think about how many times that somebody that you absolutely despise, when the first couple of words come out of their mouth, you tune out.
Yep.
You tune out. You tune out everything afterwards. They could be telling you to, like, run from a crowded building, run from a building on fire. And you're like, what is this guy talking about?
Yeah, he's trying to sell me something. I know this guy. I'm going to scroll past.
It's true. It's true. You gotta, yeah. I mean, I think we're going to be, I think we're going to we're kind of in this age where I feel like, don't take editing, don't take your marketing team, don't take your videographers, your cinematographers, don't take these people for granted, because they, like, you have your superpowers, we have our superpowers. I cannot do what any of my co-hosts do. Okay, they have superpowers for a reason. So you gotta understand who you're going to work with, why you're going to work with them, and what they can do for you. You don't have to be the person that wears all the hats. And again, I'm going to take this back to AI, because everybody's on this AI movement. And I'm seeing a lot of great AI things, especially even with editing. Like, I've seen AI chop up a multicam sequence and literally cut it where it feels it requires the cut. But you guys got to understand something. Although these amazing tools are out there, AI is meant to give you a logical response. When you're storytelling, when you're editing a film, a video, a podcast, or anything, you still need to evoke an emotional response, which AI does not have and cannot give you. So what ends up happening, even when I'm using AI to do my captions, 9 times out of 10, I spend more time correcting its mistakes because I want it to show up on the screen in a certain way. So sure, be a logical editor. See how far that gets you. Like, it's not going to get you very far, because when we go to the movies, we want to watch a story, we want to cry, we want to laugh. AI cannot do that for us.
Okay, I got something profound to talk about. So
give it to me. I'm ready.
We've talked about the internet getting boring, right? We're now talking about AI, which is going to reinforce what it was taught, right? Which is the internet that we now consider boring. We, as creators of content, we as consumers of that content, have the ability to change the landscape based on the content we create, based on the discussions we use, based on how we utilize these platforms. And so today's discussion is really brought to mind for me. I want to look at these platforms differently so I can find a way to collaborate. I want to stop using the platforms that don't give me that ability, because if we're just going to stand here on soapboxes, it's going to get really loud, and I just want to run home and put my earplugs in at that point. But if we have the ability, I've told you guys before, my experience on YouTube when I first started was videos back and forth to people. Someone would post something, and then you'd post a response calling them out and saying, hey, actually, Sean, what you said was blah, 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 but I have questions for you. And then Sean would respond with a video on his channel, and we'd have this beautiful conversation. I am calling my shot. Listen up, Marley Jacks. I am calling my shot to say, let's make the internet, like, let's shape the internet. Let's focus on how we can have those collaborative moments. And when I mean collaborative, I don't just mean showing up on an awesome show every week with your best friends. I don't just mean collaborating with business partners and joint venture partners for business related things. I don't just mean collaborating with brands, again, for that financial payoff. I mean collaborating with your audience, asking those questions. We have those features in a lot of platforms where we can put polls up. We can have posts on our YouTube. I just realized I haven't been posting on my YouTube community tab in a while. So that I'm going to start using more as a way of making social media more social.
You say that, and I hear you loud and clear when you say that too. It's when you look at social media, at least from our context, which is we're using social media to grow a brand and to increase awareness and to go out there and throw those jabs. So our social media is tuned to seeing a lot of others out there that are doing it as well. And it can get to where, man, it seems like nothing lasts. It's like, okay, boom, here's Chat GPT, and then it's hype, and then, okay, boom, now we're on to something else. And then you mentioned about Chat GPT not being just only being logical, but not having the ability to actually, take something from over here, take something from over there, take an idea they had here, and then combine those and make something completely different. That's what we're able to do as creators. If we just rely on Chat GPT, it's just going to take what was and give us more of that. Take what it learned, but we can be those creators. That's what it's just, I love to create content. I love to create content. I love to create or I'm learning to do more storytelling and being able to either express or convey a story in either a long form piece of content, or challenge yourself to tell that same story, convey that same story in an image, or a 6-second clip, or 16-second clip. And it's really challenging yourself to get better at storytelling. And because it's stories that cause people to move, it's stories that cause people to take action, and you can get them to either donate, buy, click, visit. It's an amazing journey. And I have to say that I'm just happy to be on it along with you two guys, with my little small self right here in the corner.
I'm honestly, you know what? I'm honestly interested to see what it looks like when somebody actually hits like the stars button on Facebook when I'm like live or any content. Like I want to, like I've never had a donation come through before, so like even if it was like $1, like I would love to see what like the process looks like. You know what I mean? Or even like the super fan
and the super
section,
thanks and stuff.
the super thanks on YouTube.
I actually buy stars, and I buy them in quantities, and then I it's like tipping, man. It's like tipping for waiters and waitresses. When you see someone out there putting out content consistently, I'm gonna send 50 stars. I'm gonna send 100 stars. But
so you buy the stars in advance, for example, and then you distribute those stars to that creator, and that creator gets whatever the worth of 50 stars is.
And then it'll mark your name as sending stars, and then sometimes the creator will be notified, and then the creator can thank you. Hey, thanks, I appreciate that. And then when you comment, it puts by your name as being a star sender. And sometimes when you're on certain lives, if you put a certain amount of stars, it will make your comment pinned to the top. Sort of like YouTube a little bit, because YouTube has that same type of feature.
This is so funny.
And here's the thing with the stars. So it's like if I buy 50 stars, I might pay $5. But if I get 100 stars, I might pay $9. So it encourages you to buy stars in bulk. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to give myself a budget. And this week, I'm going to buy $40 worth of stars. And then I'm going to just distribute it amongst the creators that I see come up on my feed. I didn't know you never seen stars. I'm going to send you some stars, Lefty.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that. No, I just want to see what the process really is like, because I've never had it. I wonder where they got that idea from. It's like, and I'm not discrediting anybody's profession, but it's like, these cam girls are onto something. I mean, hey, look, how else do they make their living, right? It's off of those donations. Let's be realistic, right? So it's like I wonder.
And we see it also on Twitch.
Yes, Twitch.
Like, but I feel tons of different opportunities that way.
I feel like that industry though was the OGs, the originators, right? So it's like I wonder if they kind of took the concept and said, okay, well, look, like this is how this is done in this industry. How can we apply it to creators to help them make more money too, right?
If you want to see where emerging technology is going, go into the adult industry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh really?
Absolutely. Because there is so much money that's being made in that industry.
Yeah.
And just side note, this is what my graduate work was in. So the amount of data that we can collect, that we know we have this access in our YouTube, for example. So with that same information, imagine we go through the YouTube formula again. We use those same pieces of information. We create the right kinds of feedback loops, and we create content based on what our analytics are showing that people want to watch. oh my goodness. And then you see emerging technologies like 3D, VR, AR, all of that is wonderfully being tested in that industry long before we as humble marketers get to use it for a lower cost.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
oh, man.
We're sick people. We're sick.
That's like that's like one of the two industries that you don't have to sell.
Exactly. Also, not money advice, not investing advice, not a money professional. But anytime you see the word recession, I get really excited to buy what we call sin stocks. So cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol, firearms in the US, that kind of stuff.
Because firearms in the US, huh?
You can't really buy them here. Well, we don't really have the stocks you can buy here, but because when the economy goes down, people are going to cut their spending for things that are, you know, fancy luxury type items, but they're always going to go back to, if they get anxious and they want to smoke when they're anxious, they're going to buy cigarettes. So why not make some money off of those companies? But the ethics of investing is a whole nother story for another day.
No, I just, you know what, I just, the way I view it is, this is how I view this book right now based on what I'm hearing. It's not about jab, 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 right hook your audience. It's about, we have so much information at our fingertips. We have everybody saying the exact same thing. We are looking at people with more subscribers, more followers, more comments, better looking visuals, whatever the case might be. And then we get anxiety and we get discouraged to show up ourselves. What I think is, what I think people need to do if they want to start achieving in getting achievement in reaching that, let's say 1% status, or that even 10% status, they got to put the blinders on, and and what they need to do is they need to jab all the profiles that are trying to get in those in their blinders, and do what you need to do. Focus on what you need to do in order to succeed and be the best, whatever you are, on social media. So like, stop focusing on everybody else. Stop focusing on you know, someone who might be 10 years younger than you, but has already a 8,000 square foot mansion, or whatever the case might be. Like, that person's journey is that person's journey for a reason. They were meant to have that at that point in time in their life. You might be on a different path. You might have different aspirations. You might have different goals, different dreams. You might reach your success at a different part of your life. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're doing something so wrong. Why is God punishing me? No, God's not punishing you. He's putting you exactly where you need to be at the right time. Maybe that 20-year-old kid needed that Lamborghini. You didn't at the time. Right? There's so many incredible mysteries that we don't know, but we want the answers to. And I feel like if everybody just kind of started putting the blinders on and started just focusing on what you as the business owner needed to do, believe me, you will be that 20-year-old with the Lamborghini, even if you're 50. Right? You will. Like, it doesn't matter. And for the record, if I give like a little secret hush moment, anybody can rent a Lambo for $1,000 a day. Okay?
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, as much as I love, you know, 20-year-old entrepreneurs that are ambitious and whatnot, I don't think you're buying a $300,000 car at 20 years old. Let's be realistic. Exactly. You don't have enough experience in life. So think about these things, right? I'm actually doing a new segment on my Instagram right now called I used to do the power of color grading. I'm actually now doing the power of sound design.
Cool.
So the reason why I'm saying this and how it goes hand in hand is, when you're looking at someone who you feel is better than you or at a higher level than you, look at everything around him or her. Look at everything that they're doing. Same thing when I'm creating sound design. I have to analyze every single detail in that scene and think to myself, what would make a sound? Where is that sound coming from? And what does that sound like? And then I have to start layering, and I have to start putting things together. So look at those people that you might feel are doing better than you and really analyze what's in their scene. Yeah. What their follower count is, what their
mise en place.
Oh yeah. What they are doing, and also what they aren't doing.
Exactly.
Well, there are so many subtle things. Just for example, just with us being on camera, I look at so many people that want to come on camera, and then they come on camera like this. Well, I think that everything is fantastic today, but you don't understand that there is, when you see there's movement, there is your gestures, your hand movement, your eye. It's what they're doing and what they are not doing.
Yep. And I'll finish off with on that topic with the idea of showing up to create that representation. So if we go back a little bit and we talk about AI and how AI is trained based on the models that already are existing. So if we find that the internet is boring, AI is just going to recreate boring for us because it thinks that's what we want, rebore us. But what I'm finding, where I get so excited when I check my socials is when I see people of diverse backgrounds showing up. So for me, as someone who's living with a chronic illness, to see other people showing up, sharing their lives, sharing their struggles, sharing what it's like for them as business owners with chronic illnesses and the struggles and the solutions they come up with, that gives me a tribe to rally behind, to say, heck yeah, I can do this because they can do this. To see young entrepreneurs show up and say, you know what? I'm going to be the first entrepreneur in my family. I'm going to change the way that my family history has been. I am going to be that change maker for my family. I'm like, heck yes. To see so many moms showing up and sharing how they're able to balance their entrepreneurial journeys as well as their family life. All of those different ways of standing up and representing. Also, in Canada here, my Canadian feed is filling up with Indigenous business owners, and I am living for this. To see new perspectives, to see female-owned, Black-owned businesses thriving and building these communities, supporting each other, and then it's just that it gives me chills to talk about it because that's the internet I want to see. That's the internet that includes all of us. That's the global community that makes humanity a better place to be, rather than just thinking about the internet as these toxic cesspools of controversy
and cancel
culture. Exactly. Like, let's get into those nuances. Let's talk about what those individual struggles are and come up with creative solutions, because entrepreneurs are the best people at solving problems
in the world.
We should stop trying to create problems. I'm like done with all this, like, let's create controversy for the sake of getting views. Like, no, let's create collaboration for the sake of making change.
And let other people know that they can do it too.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
And one thing that people don't always agree with me.
That was fire right there.
And one thing that people don't always agree with me on, but I'm gonna say it because it's, in my opinion, this is my truth. In the world that we live in today, your circumstance, no matter what that circumstance is not the thing putting you at a disadvantage. You are putting yourself at the disadvantage. I don't care. I don't care if you're eating from food stamps today. Do you have a phone while you're eating food stamps? Do you have access to the internet? Can you talk to people? You absolutely can. So if you are going to keep yourself in poverty, you're the crutch, not society, not anybody else, because the same person who comes from nothing nowadays has exactly the same exact access to somebody who comes from everything. So it's all here. Change the mind, get out there, try your very hardest to make yourself 1% better than you were yesterday.
Yes.
And you will see 12 months from now, 24 months from now, 48 months from now, that you will start to make that change, that movement in your family history, in your family dynamic, that's going to put you closer to that high 5-figure salary, or that high 6-figure salary, or heck, even 7 figures. That's the beauty of the internet, is that I can be poor as hell today and somehow I can make $1 million tomorrow. That's what I love about this internet. That's what it's so crazy that I have 30 days to do this. And then you know what happens? The most beautiful, magical thing happens. At the end of the month, I get a reset button. I get another 30 days to do it all over again.
Goodness.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So get out there. Get out there. Stop using your situations as crutches, and just believe in yourself, and surround yourself around people that believe in you. And if you need a support system, you got the 3 of us right here. Come on down. DM us. Find ways to contact us. We will make sure that we, give you that encouragement and the right push that you need to contribute to this creator community, and help you on your way to becoming an entrepreneur as well.
Oh, I love it. So it's time to wrap up today's episode. But next week, we will be back with the final wrap up for Gary Vee's beautiful book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. But before we leave you today, we're going to sprinkle you some seeds of what is coming in the future, because next week is our last week with Gary Vee on this book. And we're going to be moving forward to a book I am so excited for, Super Fans by the one and only Pat Flynn.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm pumped
so
for this one.
Yeah.
So get your copies. I'm buying mine off Amazon, or I got mine off Amazon. Do you have is it on Audible, Mark?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm gonna get it at both. I like both. Nice. I love having this physical copy. Man, this is thanks so much, guys, for this has been this is just a great book club. There's a movie out there called The Book Club, and they've just made a part 2. Yeah. I wanna steal the line from that movie and say that I'm gonna steal a phrase. Book club chapter. And the next book, did you hear me?
No.
All I heard was book club chapter.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Book club. The next chapter is the best chapter.
Hey, huge. I love that.
I like that. Maybe we should make a documentary of the book club.
But
right?
But introducing me to this book has been it's been a really good learning experience that I would not have had if it weren't for you too. Yeah. And I think hopefully, all those out there listening are actually, taking some of what we say. Maybe you agree with some of it, maybe you don't, but take what you and if you don't, that's great. That means that we all have different perspectives on things. And I love that. That's how we, come up with so many different ideas. We don't have to be so different. We can be alike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so man, super happy about this book, super excited about the next book. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm the underdog here. I'm the one that beat all odds to make it to be what am I anyway?
A mental marketer, bro.
I'm just kidding.
I beat all the odds to be a mental marketer.
Oh, I love it, my friends. All right, my friends. So it's time to sign off. We will see you same time, same place, or same places, I should say. P.S. For those of you watching, we are simulcasting today's episode and all of our episodes to our Facebook profiles, the Visibility Hacker Facebook group, to the Visibility Hacker YouTube channel, to Lefty's sales video Jedi channel, to the Mental Marketer YouTube channel. There are so many places to check out the Business Building Book Club. So make sure if you get any value out of our episodes, share it with a friend, because we'd love to grow this community so that we can all rise above, because entrepreneurs, we're going to change the world.
Hell yeah, we are. That's it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Say goodbye, everyone.